How you doing? Good to see it. I don't know if this thing's on, but there it is. Thank you for coming out. That's it. We'll see you later. Oh, wait. I want to introduce the guy who's going to introduce me that's going to introduce the guy. This is Mr. Lobo. He's going to moderate our Q&A, so take it away, Mr.
Big hand
Lobo.
for Paul Bunnell, director of A Blind Bargain. My gosh. Did we lose that?
Yeah, it's
that's so embarrassing.
That's one of our clown noses.
All right, okay. We have lots of people, so many chairs, so many people that were involved with this movie. I think I'd like to invite the two joys, the two faces of joy up first. Amy Wright and Lisa Cochran. Please come on down. Here, now you a microphone. And Amy, there you are. Oh my gosh.
Now I want to say, Amy and Annalisa have not seen the film before tonight. So if they start giving me angry looks.
We're seeing each other.
Oh my gosh, you two are so wonderful. Look at this. Wow. In the movie it was trippy, but now this is trippy.
It's trippy for us.
Yeah. So what was it like to see the film for the first time, both of you?
It was so fun. It was so
I have a bad feeling about this.
No, Paul, congratulations. It was such a visual, feast. It was beautiful. It was so fun to see. Also, we got to meet just a few times, and it was so fun to see all the parts that.
I think it worked.
Yeah.
I bought it. I was getting mixed up about who was on the screen.
Well, that happens.
Well, you two are absolutely amazing. I think it was an incredible performance. Both of you did such an incredible job, and really sell the heart of the story. So thank you so much for your part in the film. It's just incredible. I'd like to. Oh yeah, I was the guy who broke a pillow. I lost a pillow fight. Thank you. But I got to be there every day behind the scenes. Aaron and I were there every day behind the scenes, and it was an absolute joy to see Paul and John and the whole team work. In fact, let's invite a couple more people up here. I know we have, Claudia's right here. So this is Stephanie. Stephanie, one of the dealers of weirdness, right? I mean, I feel like that's what you guys do.
Yes, I'm not quite sure whether I was a good or a bad guy, but I think that's to you to find out or figure out for yourself. But it was wonderful to be a part of this, but also to do the art for it, because I'm a big fan of the Night Gallery, so getting to do all the art for it felt like my childhood dream.
I was going to ask about the art. The art was amazing. So all of the paintings in the film are you, Claudia?
Yes, including the backgrounds of crawling eyes floating around.
When he was doing the operation and putting the stuff on her face and the bugs and the eyeballs were all floating?
And the tub scene where he is hallucinating or whatever.
When Jake is in the tub?
Yes. So,
wow.
And
Wow.
both paintings, the one over the safe, which is a sort of devil creature, and then I don't know, whatever you want to call him. And then the elegant lady figure that kind of looks like this dress,
Oh, yes.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so that felt good. And in a weird way, the character to me felt like, since we were taking you, do we exist? Do we not exist? That's kind of, and are we good or bad is a good question, because we are dealing the bugs or drugs or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, all sorts of weird stuff. You deliver the painting, you get the pen, you all of that stuff. The suitcase full of bugs.
I think we're weird spies in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, you might. And was that even? And who was that go-go dancing in the?
That was also me. So, yeah.
Anyway, big hand for Claudia. So much of you is in this movie, Claudia, and you really, again, put a lot of yourself, both your creative talent, amazing creative talent, and of course your acting talent as well. And I believe Rob May is here.
Rob Mays.
Rob Mays.
Rob Mays. Hey, Vincent, now I'm
Vincent,
gonna,
yes.
you know, it's interesting because, this part was written as a straight kind of bad
Hey.
guy.
Hey, buddy, good to
Oh
see
my
you.
gosh.
Every
you're
time he was
amazing
on
in
the
this.
street,
So-
when I worked with
so
Rob,
good.
I knew I was in for a great time.
This is an amazing character because there's so much menace, but you want to like him somehow.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. And you look like you were just having a ball, like in every scene.
Yeah, I was doing all the drugs. Yeah.
Really, really, really incredible. And now, have you seen this before on a screen?
Can I tell them?
Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead, yeah.
So it's not a secret, okay?
Yeah, no,
It's not a secret.
Yeah, no, I've seen it a couple of
I could
times.
hear everything you were saying.
No, it was a secret.
No.
Yeah. I've seen it a couple of times, but I haven't seen it on film in a theater with you all and with you guys.
And what did you think, seeing it on the screen?
It's so freaking cool. It was fun. Did you guys enjoy it?
Yeah. Great.
It's so wild and colorful and creative and weird and fun, and you just don't know what's around the next corner.
No, and I've seen it a few times, and I keep forgetting what's coming next, which is so fun.
And I kind of keep finding things that I didn't notice before too, like in rewatching it too. There's just a lot of detail.
Sequel?
Sequel.
John?
Sequel.
Sequel, yes.
And even blinder bargain. Blind harder. And then of course, let's see here. Jed. Jed, are you here? Jed Rogan, Logo.
Jed, come on up.
Come on up, Logo. You got a microphone for Logo?
Got a new car.
Have a seat. You have so many places. Jed, you are amazing in this.
Thank you so
My
much.
favorite moment, like there's a kind of like I feel like once you bite that Twinkie, we're in a whole other world. It's Logos' world at that point. It's an interesting, there's so many like assistants of mad scientists that just kind of like they stay in their lane, and there's that moment. You bite that Twinkie and you tell your story, and you just want to build swimming pools. And I just think that it is such a great character. I mean, you must have just been delighted.
Thanks for the monologue, Paul.
You know, we worked really hard on that monologue because I wanted Jed to have a real nice moment, and we really sat down and we worked through that whole thing, and
It was very interesting to see me have hair
yes.
in the movie. That hasn't happened in a while. And my mom saw a screener of this and she said, "What did they do to your nose?"
Yeah, could you talk a little bit about the makeup process with that?
Well, it was a couple hours in that chair, and it was comfortable. I've had a lot of prosthetics in my career, so
Yes.
it wasn't so bad.
You've definitely been in tons of genre movies, and you've been quite an array of colorful characters. But Logos, as strange as he was, he seemed real. I mean, when I was interviewing you on set, we were as close as we are now. That makeup looked like it was part of you. It did not look like an appliance.
No, this is, I become the character.
Yeah.
I'm sure all these other actors do the same thing. I am Logos during the movie. Real quick trivia question.
Okay.
I have to get this out there. Me and Rob Mays wore the same exact jacket tonight.
Oh,
I just
really?
want everyone to know that. I had to shed mine because Jennifer Prettyman was also in the movie, spilled beer all over it. But we have the same jacket and we didn't plan it at all.
That's
Isn't that
amazing.
great?
Well, we should bring Jennifer
All
up.
right, yes, let's bring her on up. Jennifer Prettyman, please come on up. You are, of course, the nurse. Come up here and call me a creep. So, Jennifer, it's so great to see. Oh my gosh, it's so great. We had so much fun, and we had a brief moment together at the party.
We did.
You know,
Yes.
I wish it was just you and me at the party.
I know.
We could have had a whole scene together.
I was the Swiss Miss in Coca-Cola. Yes.
That's right. And you were, yes, and I don't know what I was. I looked like a Colombian drug leader.
You know, I met
Drug
Jennifer.
lord or
I met
something.
Jennifer back in 1992 when I was doing the movie, and I cast you as a photo double. And for the actress who got pregnant. Anyway.
Although when you had me come audition, you didn't say it was a photo double.
Oh.
I thought it was an actual.
Oh, is that right? Well,
Yeah,
yes.
but then he talked to me.
Well, anyhow, you were wonderful, and we've been friends ever
We've been
since.
friends
Good
ever
friends,
since,
yes.
It was, and you were a great morale booster on set. It was just every day you were. I feel like you were everybody's cheerleader, so it was always nice to
Oh, that's
have
just
you
because I
on set.
drove everybody.
Yeah, she did a lot of
You
jobs.
did a lot of stuff, and then you were so you were at the party, and you were a nurse. Were you a different nurse or just the same nurse?
No, I was still Nurse Hagen.
Okay, so
I
Nurse
was.
Hagen.
I
so
just
that
kind
was-
of popped up here and there.
So that was Nurse Hagen in both sequences.
Yes,
Okay.
choked and then.
Okay.
Yeah, so she does lots of little
Joke
parts
when
and
it came
roles.
back.
Whenever we needed somebody, or to drive one of the actors home or something. Hey, I was taking orders for pizza, so But we had a lot of fun. Speaking of having fun,
Yes.
do you think we have all the cast members who were here, right? What about the guy that wrote the checks?
Oh yeah, and he wrote some of the story too.
Yes, he co-wrote the story on the He's good at writing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour, John Filatico.
Executive
John, thank you so much. This has been an incredible experience. This is an incredible film.
John's all excited. It's his first movie.
We opened in New York.
I can't even believe
Well,
it.
that's something that Cary Grant used to do.
Absolutely. In film, 35 millimeter.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about your passion of film and how it led you to this.
Was Lon Chaney silent movie from 1922, and I used to go to we'd go to a guy's house in Los Angeles, and he would show these old films. And literally, he had old antique films. And he was a Lon Chaney fan, and he had actually discovered a lost Lon Chaney film, and that gave me the idea. And he said, why don't we do a version of the 1922 film, A Blind Bargain? So he wrote a screenplay, which was execrable. It was
mediocre, and then there was another script, and then finally, I got.
Well, we made 3 changes from the Chaney version. One, the Chaney version was based on monkey glands, and people would get a monkey gland and they'd be rejuvenated.
Monkey glands were very popular in the 20s.
Yeah, and in fact, Lillian Gish took monkey glands. So
Okay.
if you want the trivial question of the year,
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so we changed the monkey glands to bugs.
Well, we changed it more than just that.
Idiospecific steroids from insects.
Yes, from insects. And the second thing was, it was the son that was going to get the operation in the Chaney version. And I thought, oh no, it's got to be the mother. I mean, to me, that was where the real drama lay,
That was a great twist on that because,
Yeah.
Obviously he already didn't have any respect for himself and he was in a low point. The only thing he really loved was his mother. So to bargain that was probably
Yeah, and
the worst
she's
thing that could happen to
innocent,
him.
there's, she comes into it as an innocent bystander.
Right, it's not just desserts for her. no.
And then our producer, Big Bailey, came up with the idea, set it in 1970. And I thought, well, that's great. We've got the Vietnam War, and we've got Carlos Castaneda, Journey to Ixtlan.
He wasn't in the film.
No, he didn't want a part. So I thought, well, that could bring in the whole mysticism of the 70s, and then that we gave to the character of Logos.
I think we're just trying to make a good movie, John, right? Wouldn't you say that?
Oh, is that what
We're just
we're
trying to make
trying
it
to do?
entertaining.
I think you did a great job. Well, we only have about 30 minutes, so
Probably
go
less
ahead
than
and
that.
have a seat, John.
But I want to just personally thank John because I haven't made a movie in a while, and I'm very picky when I do make a movie. I want to do something of quality, and John gave me an opportunity to direct this thing, and I co-wrote it, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, well, most of you had fun. I don't know how much fun I had, but it was a lot of stress. But thank you.
I mean, you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. I can't think of anybody else pulling it off, Paul. I think you did a remarkable job. It's a journey you want to take, and it's a lot of fun. Like so, this is my, I think, 3rd time watching it, and I think I like it more every time. I know that's a biased position since I have a small part in it, but I absolutely love it. I'd love to take some questions from the audience for our panel. Do we have a question from the audience? I could Phil Donahue. Run out? Oh, you got a microphone to run out to the
Run
Okay, a question from the audience, please. Oh, way in the back there.
Way in the back there.
Run!
He's like, well, the question is, where's the exit?
Yeah, no.
Run as fast as you can to that exit.
So I was wondering, what was the most challenging scene to film out of the entire movie for you guys?
Most challenging, we could go down the row, I think, here. Why don't we have everyone answer that? Most challenging, Amy? You have to think about
All of them for Amy, I guess.
Okay, all right, okay.
Okay, well, I remember, so I came to set my first day, and you guys had already been filming for a bit, and Paul has such a great sense of humor, which I acknowledge and respect, and but sometimes I need to be serious, you know, and so I went up to him, and he's making jokes, and like, all right, let's shoot. And I said, okay, cool. Real quick though, one question, Paul, what's the tone? You know, because tone's a big deal in filmmaking, at least for me. And Paul goes, I would say strong to quite strong. Roll cameras! And I had no idea. And like he said, it was written so straight and this tough guy. And I was like, okay, don't know what I'm doing, but here we go. And we're going to play with it and have fun and roll the dice. And we did.
Well, it worked.
Okay, good job.
I would say it was the first day for me, which was when we were all doing the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I had hives that they covered pretty well. Yeah, I'm a redhead by nature, and also just everything you can imagine I break out from. So that was fun, and I think that was probably the hardest day. Just getting through that and being okay, and not feeling like I was going to suffocate because of it, and just pretending that everything was all right. Other than that, I felt like everything went pretty darn well, but for me, just that. And that's about it.
You did a great job.
I don't even know if you can see the hives, but
I didn't actually know that.
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't see any hives.
They didn't could have fooled me.
I've recovered.
Logos, I saw your hives.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Time to make up for it.
Any challenges on this?
You know, it's kind of a long monologue.
Wasn't there a line
yeah,
of dialogue that you struggled with?
The cat's line?
No, the
No,
line
in the car.
where
In
you
the car,
say,
you said.
Oh yeah, there was a line I
Can't
remember
remember
that. Who wrote that line?
Probably Philonica.
Yeah.
I don't write down lines like that.
That was, you know, it was really hot in there. It was like a 300 degrees in the car, and
You had to say.
I was melting. My brain was melting.
Well, I was
You
just-
know.
You had to say, but you have such exquisite.
I don't know the line, John. I
Such
can't.
exquisite
I didn't know it that
Okay.
day.
Yeah,
So.
exquisite fortitude mon petite. And I thought, here's this character quoting French at her. And that's where, you see, Paul and I sat next to each other when we wrote it.
Yeah.
And we couldn't help but throw out these lines like, you know, I want to build swimming pools. And just,
Yeah.
you know, when we
Well, a
look-
lot of stuff got cut too, you know, but it was a lot of fun. We came up with some zingers. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, that's all right. During the monologue, there was a couple of guys working outside and moving around their, it was kind of like that over there. It was kind of like moving around their tool cases while
Right on
trying to do
cue.
a monologue in front of 60 people. But it was all good. It was a great shoot. I loved every moment of it. And the food was really good too.
Yeah, it's kind of, I was so privileged. I got to waltz in, and all of you had been working pretty hard, and I get to do a scene, have some fun, dance on water. It's pretty chill for me. Just like what was that? We went pretty late that one night.
Yeah, we went pretty late that night. That was the last
That's
night of
more
shooting.
fun.
So
you know?
what was the walking on water scene? Could you talk about that, the walking on water?
Yeah, he had me study Jesus. It would
Wow,
anything.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Just looked up. No.
That explains all those loaves that were turned into fishes.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
The wine, remember the wine?
Yeah.
No.
Great. No, but I mean, I would be, even knowing that there was, because I think there's plexiglass or something.
Yes, RS.
Even knowing that was there, I feel like I would just be terrified just to walk out on it.
Yeah, I think there was those boots were incredible, but I think we were a little worried that I would slip or something, but there's a great picture of Paul like showing me the right posture, and I think I just needed him to do it for me, and I think he
Well,
walked out
you know,
there.
you look better than me, so. I'm glad you did it.
Thank God.
That was a rush night because it was the last night of shooting, and we were not getting all the shots I wanted to get, and they said we got to be out of here by a certain time. And at one
You
point,
had a
I thought we
runner?
weren't going to be able to
Yeah.
shoot that, and I was not a very good mood that night. I was very upset, but we ended
Paul,
up
where did
getting
that
it.
song come from? Because that's a
That
hauntingly
song was
beautiful
something
song.
that Eagle Plum wrote, and I saw in a play years ago, and I'd always wanted to put it in a movie, and we changed the lyrics to modify it for this film. So I've been wanting that song for, I don't know, about 15 years.
Oh, wow.
But maybe more, I don't know. But so, yeah, Eagle Plum, a wonderful composer.
I love that you put a musical performance in there because
Oh, yeah.
it reminded me of Johnny X in that way.
You know what's so funny about that song? Afterwards, Filatico hadn't heard the song, and he came up to me and said, "Do we have the rights to that?" I was like, "Can we get the rights to that old song?" I'm like, "Eagle Plum wrote it, of course." Remember? He thought it was an authentic old song.
The song that's playing inside the bar,
That was done by the Bynars. That's a newer song, actually, and that's another song I've been wanting to use in a movie for a long time.
Because it sounds authentic.
Called
as
Every
well.
Little Thing You Love. Yeah, it's kind of
Great
done in
song.
that John Lennon style.
Yeah.
But that's one of the songs I licensed, and I finally got to put it in a movie. I was going to use it in Rocket Girl, but, well, I used it in this, so.
The sound in this movie overall is really amazing. Are you kind of a stickler?
I'm a stickler for
sound?
sound. I think if I hadn't been a film director, I would have been a sound designer. I have a lot of interest. I was dabbling around it since I was a kid, splicing tape and doing multi-tracks, and so I'm really into creating interesting sound for film.
I'm really eager to hear what Jennifer's most difficult day.
Oh, do
was.
you want to tell the Crispin story?
Can I?
Go ahead. I mean, he's not here, so.
Okay, well, I was going to talk about getting pushed up against the wall and choked. That was a little difficult, but
Yeah, and I'm sorry I did that to you. I didn't mean
No,
that.
And then the cameras
no.
were rolling.
I know that wasn't
That,
me.
but yeah, when Steven pushed me up against the wall, we did have a stunt coordinator, so I mean, we went through everything, whatever. But I have to admit, Steven is a big guy, and it did kind of hurt.
Oh, really?
I had a
Okay,
couple
I
bruises.
didn't know that. Well, Amy
Wow.
Wright got some bruises too.
I'm only bruised in my
I wish
stomach.
we had insurance on this thing.
But on another level, on an annoyance level, I'm gonna talk about it since you brought
Okay,
it up.
yeah, go ahead.
So Crispin had a thing where he liked to kind of talk about what lines, other characters' lines he liked and didn't like, and he did not like my line, "Screw you, creep."
He happened to step in as we were shooting that scene, and he said, "I don't." He takes me aside, and he says, "Don't ever say that." I'm like, "Okay." Well, I was glad I already got it because I knew I was going to use it, but so I went ahead and did a take where she does it, and you were really pissed off.
I was so mad. We had already
Yeah.
shot the other angles, so
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, you better use those shots because, yeah, he pulled me aside and he's like, "Crispin really doesn't like that line." I'm like, "Really? Well, it's not Crispin's line."
Well, you know what,
so
though?
it's-
I mean, in his defense, we really were trying to make a movie that we felt was authentic for the period. And he thought maybe you wouldn't say that in 1970, but I disagree. And, I take some liberties with the film, but I thought it was funny, so we kept it in. And, Crispin hasn't seen, now Crispin is the last person who hasn't seen the film. So when he sees it,
And there it is. Walking in.
it's going out tomorrow, don't worry. But anyhow, yeah, that was, you were great, Jennifer.
Okay, John. Now you had an acting role briefly. in
I
the movie.
played Dr. Warners. I got a white coat. This is what you need to play a doctor. A white coat.
Oh, white coat. Let me write this down. White coat.
A
Okay,
white
got
coat
it.
and a name tag, okay? And the only name tag we had was Dr. Warners, so that's mine, that's how I got the name. But I want to say the scene that I loved the most to shoot was the silent movie sequence. We had a great actor, Aaron Ball, and he was a great man. And we said we need a silent movie sequence, so he kind of ripped off Aida from the opera, which is what they did in the silent movies. And then we had just a very simple set downstairs, and it
We
was
used that
shot.
hand crank camera.
We got a hand crank camera and 35mm black and white film. And
I was
and
4 feet away watching Paul crank that camera and
It
hearing
was,
every frame click over, and it was like
yeah.
chilling. It was
And
amazing.
it makes a difference in the look of the thing. But what happened is everybody on set, and it's like almost, it must have been 80 people, all came into the set to watch us shoot the silent movie sequence.
Well, they heard we were giving away pizza, so they wanted to be
They're
there.
waiting for dinner. It was crowded in there.
It just gave
It was
me
like a
the
subterranean
the
rave
thought
with a
of what silent movies
silent
were
movie in the
like,
middle.
because you didn't have to worry about the sound and you didn't have to keep everybody
Well, that was a
quiet.
fun scene.
And so everybody was there, and the electricity of just shooting that sequence. And of course, we had Annalisa dressed as Cleopatra,
Yeah.
which, and we have a sequence of you walking on set in the Cleopatra.
So you're saying that was the most challenging day for you?
Well, it wasn't,
I thought you were having
memorable
fun.
day.
Oh, memorable day.
You want a challenging day.
Okay.
Challenging
No,
might have been just
yeah.
walking in with a clipboard being a doctor.
Challenging was
Yeah.
having me tell you to go get me some coffee.
Yeah, that's right, with cream
Yes.
or sugar.
Yeah, I trained in the town.
Wow.
You
remember.
You had a smile the entire shoot.
John was having a lot of fun. He was always giggling and dancing. And,
Look it was great to be on set,
Yes.
because when I walked into the producer's trailer, it cost me $10,000.
yeah, so we stayed out of that
And
office.
so I never walked in. I said, let me go see them shoot some film. I don't want to sit here with you guys and watch you think of how to spend money. Shoot.
Yeah. thank-
Let's
I wanted to
let's see
say-
if we can get another. Oh, can
Well,
we
no,
get
no, you
another
didn't
question?
ask me what my.
Oh yeah,
I
of
do
course.
wanna
Yes,
say-
Paul. I'm sorry, Paul. Let me ask you, what was your most challenging day on set?
Being interviewed by you. No,
Yeah, you were
actually,
avoiding me the whole
I kept
time.
avoiding him. I didn't want to be interviewed. But I'll tell you what, we didn't say this, but Aaron Ball was one of my best friends, okay? And he played the silent movie actor. And he passed away. He got to see the movie, but he passed away last year. He had a heart condition. But Aaron and I were very close friends, and I brought him in from Miami. It occurred to me, oh my God, I could get Aaron to do this. And I'm so glad he did, and I'm so glad he got to see the movie because, he was wonderful, and I got him on film for the last time, so I'm glad that he was in it. But that was a fun day for me. I think in general the most difficult, memorable, I think just trying to make the days, we had a very tight shooting schedule, only 18 days. And it was very hard for me to do. I didn't get a lot of the coverage I wanted to get, but that happens. And we did it more on like a TV schedule because I was trying to give it the feel of an old Rod Serling Night Gallery episode. If you were to see this in 1970 on television, I'm a big fan of those old shows, and I thought, well, this would be my chance to do one. Spielberg directed the pilot of Night Gallery with Joan Crawford. And but anyhow, it's just, I think it came out pretty good. The most memorable time for me was getting to go home at the end of the night. Yeah.
Amazing, Paul, and I think you really achieved it. It definitely, and more, honestly. I mean, it does have this sort of Twilight Zone, Night Gallery-ish sort of aspects to it, but I don't think that they would have ever done, there's so much wonderful abstract kind of super creative kind of moments in there that they wouldn't have had time for a TV movie. I think there really is an enormous amount of character and personality in
And I
this.
shot it on Super 16. Of course, movies, the TV shows would have been done on 35 millimeter back then, but I did it on Super 16 to add a little bit more grain. To give you the feel that it was more of a kind of a TV-ish thing or from the 70s.
Now, something that you and John share is this love of film. Gas and
Yes.
Love of Johnny X was
That's
shot
right.
on film.
That's right.
This was shot on film. I mean,
I've
why?
never made a movie on digital. Ever.
Why is that so important? Can you explain to the
I
audience
mean,
why
to me,
that's
it's
so
second
important?
nature. I've always made movies on film, going back to being a kid. When I was 11, I started making movies, and I love film. I'm a film collector. I've got a lot of film prints, and I handle film and I run it. So we just had to make. John and I agreed we had to make a 35 millimeter print. And I
Watching
think
this,
it looks really good.
watching this really makes me respect the respect the process, because it's like I was there on set, but not only that I was there on set. This was shot on film. You guys everything had to be planned. Everything had to happen.
Well, yeah, you
Everything
just
had to be
can't
on
keep rolling the
camera.
camera. You have to do your homework and be disciplined.
And the discipline, but it's like in a digital age, and of course in AI, where you can just tell a computer something and the outcome is there. It's like every car is placed there, every person is placed there, every performance is captured. It's amazing. It's funny to where something so direct can feel like a magic trick. because you know that everything was there. Everything was physical and was there. And it was amazing. It's amazing to watch it with that, modern sensibility. And that this is like, again, shot on film, and that is a very unforgiving medium. So hats off to you, Paul, for doing that, because that is just, you're a true artist for doing that. So, can we get another question from the audience? Okay, here we go. How about this?
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna see it just for Lon Chaney alone, but then when I saw it was in 1970. The 60s and 70s are my favorite, so that was even more perfect. And so I was wondering why the translation to the 70s, and could it be because of the new cynical era from Vietnam and the military-industrial complex kind of like pissing everybody off? Because I thought that was perfect, so thanks.
That's a good question. I guess obviously his mother had to be in silent film, so that kind of had to place it in a certain place.
Well,
right?
our writer Bing Bailey said it in 1970, which was a blessing for me because I don't really like to make contemporary settings in movies. I love to do things that are sort of like in another world or time.
Yeah, it's almost like a dreamland
yeah,
version.
Dreamland, version.
Of the
I mean,
70s,
we did
yeah.
artificial stuff in there, but some of the techniques. But it was just by happenstance, really, because originally the picture was a contemporary, was written for contemporary times. But Bing had the brainstorm to set it in 1970, and then I was like, thank goodness, we're off and running, because but all the things you said, yes, that could apply. And I always like the audience to interpret, what those meanings are.
And it also lent itself to the sort of psychotronic kind of
nature. Well, and
to
it gave
too.
me something to work with, with art direction and costumes and all of that kind of thing. I mean, it makes the film more colorful and more interesting for me, because I love, usually I set movies further back, but I love that kind of whole aesthetic of being able to work with all the props and the cars.
Very theatrical, very,
kind of the phony looking driving shots.
The driving shots were great, yeah.
Well, they could have been a little bit better.
It's great though, no, it's so great.
But they're fun, but so it was a choice, an aesthetic that really helped to make it more fun, I think.
Yeah.
And interesting.
It did do that. Did that answer your question?
Well, because, why not the 1920s?
Well, I could have done it in the 1920s as a silent, a true period piece. But, we didn't want to make it, we felt the original story was not, as interesting, right, John?
Right.
Once we decided to have the transformation performed on the mother, and I heard critics talking about another film, Black Narcissus, and one of the nuns wants to become sexually active, and she puts on a red dress and runs around the nunnery, and the critics said, this is really a monster picture. She's turned into a monster, but the monster is female sexuality. Well, it's hard to do in the 20s. It would have been hard for us to do in the 20s, but in the 70s, where you had Woman's Lib, and you had all those themes already in the culture, the idea of the mother then becoming part of this new counterculture seemed to me to fit very well. So once the victim of the doctor was the woman and not the man, it pointed to, let's go to a time when they're talking about the role of women, which was not the 20s. The women had they were flappers, but they didn't have this quality of I'm independent. So
yeah, but that wasn't your original. The original plan was just to do it as a contemporary piece.
To do it as today, yeah.
But it just worked out for us that it was set in 1970. It gave us more to work with.
Yeah, it's perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
Great job. Again, I think everything came together in a really nice way. I'd love to get another question for the panel, please.
Yep. Did you have a connection with Crispin Glover, or was he cast in the traditional casting director kind of way?
The casting director did all the paperwork, but it was my idea from the get-go. I had asked a few other name actors that were, okay, I wasn't too crazy. But thank goodness they all turned it down, because the last one I asked was Brad Dourif. And I know Amy worked with Brad in a picture called
Wise Blood.
Thank you, Wise Blood.
Oh,
I always
wow.
forget the name. So Amy was in a picture directed by John Huston called Wise Blood with Brad Dourif. But but then casting director reached out. He was like retired. He could only do the voice of Chucky. And I'm like, wait a minute. You know, the young Brad Dourif is Crispin Glover. I wonder if he would do it. You know, because I always liked Crispin, and I'd met him, you know, before. And so they reached out, and we talked, and he liked what he saw, and he liked me, and he liked the script. So we made a few changes. And and it was actually Crispin's idea to get Amy on board.
He was obsessed with Wise Blood.
Yeah, he loves Wise Blood. That was like his favorite movie. So he said, well, if you can get Amy right, I would love to do. I'm like, okay, well, I hope we can get Amy right. So thank you, Amy, for doing this.
Another question for the panel.
I love Those Were the Days, My Friend, coming at the very end of the piece because it was very uplifting at the end. I just wondered who chose that piece for the final.
Well, that was mine. You know, I chose the song. We didn't know if we could get the rights. Originally, the swimming pool song was going to be that song sang in Russian, but we decided to go in another direction with that song. And then I thought, if we can get the rights, Mary Hopkin, who sang that song in 1968, actually re-recorded it in the 70s. And the version we use is the re-recording, which sounds almost identical to the original. Had we licensed the original song, it would have been maybe too expensive or not worth it. But when we can get, it still was a lot of money, but when we licensed this song, you know, which sounded just like the original, same singer and everything, that was a blessing.
Great, yeah.
And you know, for me it was a melancholy thing, you know, it's just thinking about the way we were when we were younger, and I thought it would just be the perfect song to put at the end. And it kind of has a sort of a sad ending, you know. And
bittersweet, yeah.
Bittersweet, but I love that song. I've always loved it since I was young, and so I think it also helped sell the time period of the film. So, yeah, but anyway, thank you. That was a wonderful song.
Any more questions? I know Annalisa Cochran, this is the only night you're going to be here, right?
Yeah, and Annalisa will not be here because after seeing the film once, she's suing me.
She's having
There's legal action being taken as we
And I know,
speak.
and so Annalisa,
Is that
anyone else who's not going to be here on another day?
Rob's not going to be here.
Rob will
be here
Rob
tomorrow.
Will be here tomorrow.
But Annalisa, if you have any parting words, like lawsuit stuff, just let me know. I'll pass it over to John.
Yeah, Annalisa, again, you were amazing. We're we feel so wonderful that you were able to be here and to see the film. And
It's really so fun. Fantastic job.
Well, that was a casting director. You know, it was Lisa London. And ultimately, I showed Crispin, you know, I had a couple of girls, you and one other girl.
How dare you?
Well, and, you know, Crispin wanted approval of that, and so he chose you. I mean, I chose you too.
I thought that was a great scene.
But Crispin chose Annalisa, and Crispin chose Amy. So, you know, and he also chose me. So that was nice. But anyway, thank you for
Thank you, Crispin.
Yeah, no, and you know, and you were wonderful in the picture. I mean, you're in it far too short of a time, but
Sequel.
yeah, the sequel, yes, the return.
And I have to say, from just another standpoint, you were just an incredibly kind person to have on set.
Yes.
You know, I think a lot of people think, wow, she's so beautiful and so interesting, and she's going to be real standoffish and mean. And you were just very.
No, I mean, why would you think that?
You were listening. And
Has
you
anybody
were
seen a
kind,
show
and
called
it
Cobra
was-
Kai?
It was
Cobra
wonderful.
Kai.
It was
Annalisa is
wonderful.
one of the main people in that. But anyway, listen.
One other Annalisa thing I remember from filming was she was really.
Okay, hold on, Aaron. I'm gonna.
Aaron was our videographer on the set. He was the eyes and ears of everything.
Something that I remember from on set and everything was you were really into like the camera equipment and all the gear. And so I know there was one day where we were getting pictures of you behind the camera the movie was shot from, and then I know you were playing around with the behind the scenes gear. And I remember,
Which, thank you.
Yeah,
Probably messed a few settings up.
That's why it came out all blue.
But I remember you were really into all the equipment, wanting to learn how everything works while you were on
And you all were so generous just with your time and your equipment. You all brought everything.
And you know, all the cast was wonderful. And you know, my wife played Stephanie. Actually, I didn't know if you know that Claudia is my wife. And you know, I wouldn't have put her in the movie just because we're married. I wanted to make sure everybody was right for the role. and she's also a very talented artist. And but Rob Mays, I mean, I don't know if I would have survived the shoot without Rob, because, I would have a stressful day with Crispin, and I'm like, oh, get me out of this. And then the next day, Rob had a scene, and I was like, thank goodness, And of course, my friend Jed and I are very close friends. We go walking, and we're good buddies, and I was just glad to have Jed there for moral support.
Paul, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did Crispin choose me?
I chose you, Jed.
He was really impressed with everything.
Anyway, we want to thank you all. And can we just mention, if anyone's interested, we kind of have to wrap it up, but we do have, John brought some posters if anybody wants to purchase one. We have beautiful posters.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like 6 copies
if anybody's
of The Ghastly Love of Johnny X, which is an amazing film by Paul Bunnell. If you enjoyed Paul's work,
if anybody's
you
interested,
do yourself a favor. You are interested, you will buy one of these.
Yeah, they're $10, but if anybody wants one, it's an out of print thing. But we just want to thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
And we'll be in the lobby if anyone wants to say hi, because I know they need to do another show. But we're very happy. And John, I'll give you the last word, since John executive produced this thing.
Executive producer John Filatico.
All I can say is, it's like Picasso. They said they asked him what his favorite painting was, and he said the next one. So I hope we get another picture, and I hope you like that one. But I'm so glad that you came out to see this one, and it's a thrill for me.
We'll see you all again for the next one. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paul Bunnell. Thank you, John Filatico. Thank you, Jennifer Freeman, Annalisa Cochran, Jed Rogan, Jed Rowan, my mistake. Claudia Bunnell, Rob Mays, thank you so much, all of you. Amazing cast and crew, amazing film. Thank you so much. Big hand for the audience, too.
Thank you for staying awake. We appreciate it.
And we'll see you at the movies.
Drinks on Paul.